All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Peter Del Tondo, and I'm going to be your host this week and next for the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenges. So come join me. We're going to be going through a ton of awesome stuff here in Adobe XD, showcasing how to use the program, all the cool tips and tricks along the way, and we're going to help you guys build out an awesome portfolio. So the key focus for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be working on creating different challenges relating around the passions that you guys have. So all the various challenges that I'm going to be working on, I'm going to be doing examples of things that I like, hobbies of mine, things that I'm passionate about. I always find that you build out the best things when it's something that you care and are excited about. And that's how you build out your best work. So I'm going to encourage you guys, follow along with what I'm doing, but do your own spin on it. Change the activity, change the thing that you're working on to be something that you are really passionate about, and kind of use my daily challenge as a base to help get you guys started along the way. So let's see who we've got here in chat today. We've got Amanda. Amanda, I think I was just checking out some of your projects a minute ago from the last challenge. We've got Marilyn, Lee, Utkarsh, hopefully I'm saying that right, Stephen, Kroll. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know where you're joining us from. I'd love to find that out. And something else, as I mentioned, as we build out these challenges and they are based around, hobbies and passions, throw out ideas in chat all week long and let us know maybe what you're doing or some cool ideas that people can use to spin off something and build some really cool stuff out. So we've got more folks joining in. Olga, I was seeing some of your projects. I was catching up on the challenges from the last week. I was out at Epicurrence, which is a design conference out in Grand Canyon, and so kind of disconnected from internet for a while, but coming back and really excited. So like I said, checked out some of the challenges. We're going to be going over those today. And let's walk you guys through how you can get started in these challenges. So if you've not already, just come on up here, go to this link and download the Discord app or join that Discord community. That's where most of the magic is going to happen besides the streams here. That's where you're going to go for feedback, just daily conversation with the community. And I really, really encourage you guys to join and be part of that community. You get more when you put more into it, or you get more out of it when you put more into it. And you'll meet some awesome people like Emily Kerr, who's a friend of mine. Cara is one of our awesome mentors. And let's jump over here. Let me show you guys how you go in and join these challenges, and then we'll check out Discord a little bit. So if you come up here to behance.net/daily creative challenge, that's where we're going to start. And from there, you can join the XD challenge, the Photoshop challenge, and who knows, maybe in the future, some other challenges. But we're going to join the XD challenge, and that's going to take us over here. And so you'll see these are currently locked as we come down a little bit. Those will unlock each day at, I believe, 8 or 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And from there, you'll get a file that'll give you all of the instructions for the day, some inspiration shots I've put together, and some guidelines for each of the challenges. And I'll walk you through them each day. You'll see me design my version of these challenges. And again, after these 9 challenge days, hopefully you guys will walk away with some awesome little portfolio projects that you can build on further or use as just some small case studies to help maybe get that next job or just level up your skill, because learning is always a good idea. So let's jump in. And kind of as we said this, each day you receive that challenge, come join the community chat. We'll show you that. I'll be here every day at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on the stream, so come join me. I got a new camera, by the way, so hopefully I look a lot better. I've aged 10 years in 4K, so that's been fun to watch. And then at the end, I'm going to show you guys how to share your work each day, and you'll want to post a Behance project or the Adobe XD file in which you can share your project with us. We can give you feedback, and I'm going to go and actually review some of the past projects today as well with the extra time that we have. So that way you get to see kind of a sense of what you'll get out of these challenges from myself and the other mentor members here in the community, and see what it's all about. So again, you can come in here, you can check out these challenges as they're unlocked, and you can also jump in. And so I think Sam was on last week here in June, as well as Andrea. So you can also come back and go through these past challenges. You can watch the videos from those days. So if you guys are ever kind of bored and looking for some fun stuff to do, definitely check out the past challenges. And again, just always a great place to build up your portfolio, keep expanding your knowledge and skills. And Richard, thanks for joining in from New York City, my home state. I'm in Southern California now, but man, the food out there, that's something else. Okay, so let's keep it going here. So let's jump into Discord, and let me show you guys what that is all about here. So on the right-hand side, let's kind of start off with a couple of tiers. You can see the mentors, so myself, Tim Mobest, Chris Cannon, Howard Pinsky, Andrea Hawk, I believe Melody is over here often as well. You'll see us in each day. We're going to be tuning in to the channel. Where did it go? The current challenge feedback channel over here, and we're going to be looking through these, and each day we'll spend a couple of hours reviewing these projects. So make sure that you guys give us some more info too around what you're looking for feedback on. A great way to ask for feedback is not to just simply say, here's my project, take a look, but let us know maybe what you struggled with through the project or through the challenge, maybe some things that you're feeling unsure of. I mean, I still have insecurity or doubts in certain things that I do on my projects, or I'm afraid that I've just looked at it for too long and I'm maybe like a little blind to some of the things. And so it's great to ask for that help and feedback, and let us know so we can give you really pointed and targeted feedback in response. And David, good to see you, buddy. Hopefully we'll be playing some stuff again after work soon. So all right, so as I mentioned, you can see the Adobe team here as well, and the other 944 people that are online right now as part of this awesome community. Again, just a great place. You'll see daily announcements over here in the general creative challenge or going live areas. There's a welcome section, introduce yourselves, things that are new in XD, and we just had some fancy new stuff come out. So make sure you check out Mr. Howard Pinsky. Has great videos every time these new features roll out. So he's got all the things you could possibly want to know about blend modes, and I'll try to probably work that into one of these projects somehow. I'm not sure how yet, but we'll make it happen. So we'll show you guys all about blend modes. Pro Tips is a great channel to learn cool tips and tricks about the challenge itself, or about Adobe XD, UI, UX design, product design. It's just a great place for kind of some best practices of stuff. I know I've posted a ton of things in here about accessibility. So make sure you guys go in and check those out, and there's just some fantastic tips. As we mentioned, current challenge is where we're going to go to review challenges for this week and next. And then past challenges is going to be for stuff that isn't for this current challenge, but you'd still like to have folks take a look at it. And again, the mentors as well as other community members are going to be there to give feedback. I also really encourage you guys to give feedback to each other. I know some of you might feel like you're new to this. Maybe you feel unqualified to give design. That could not be further from the truth. You learn by understanding and breaking things down. And so, you can go in and say, hey, I'm not sure about this. I haven't necessarily done this before, but maybe here's my thoughts. Always give feedback in a kind and still direct way so that it's helpful, but put some understanding of maybe where you're coming from there, and people are going to really appreciate that. And if they see that you are often and commonly giving feedback to them on their designs, when they see your stuff up, they're going to pop up as well and want to return that favor and give you feedback as well. So again, you get more out of it the more you put into it. So make sure you engage with people in the community. We've also got some other channels here, ask advice, tips and tricks. Career advice is great. I've seen lots of people talking about like job interviews and things going on at work. So definitely make sure you check that out. And a ton of other great channels that you can check out as well. So with that, let's go back here to a couple of things that I want to show you guys. So before we get into a little bit more about Behance and XD, I want to share a couple of things that I think are going to be really helpful for you. One is this site that I actually just learned about as of an hour ago, rewatching some of Andrea Hawk's previous challenge videos, and that was this checklist.design. And I think this is one of the coolest things because I know how to do a lot of the stuff just from experience. I've had to do it, trial and error. I've forgotten a lot of the things that are mentioned in here, but you can go in and say, all right, I want to build a login page. What needs to be on this page? And it gives you inspiration, it gives you articles about it, example sites, and it walks you through things like you want your logo, title, you need some kind of identification, like a username or email address, password, link to reset, like everything that you want, and even some additional stuff. This is fantastic. I'm like so blown away by this site. I don't know who created this, but I can see why it's been popular on Product Hunt. I think this is fantastic. So definitely lean into this a little bit through this challenge. I think that would, really be a great asset. And Graham Young, thanks for tuning in, man. It was great hanging out with you in San Francisco the last time I was up there for the streams. And as I mentioned, Mr. Howard Pinsky, fantastic and like one of the most knowledgeable people about Adobe XD. It is his job, but one of the most knowledgeable folks about this program and tool and everything happening over at Adobe. And check out letsxd.com. You can see a ton of stuff. We'll be covering some of these things here throughout the challenges, but it's just a fantastic resource to really understand all of the core components and advanced features of Adobe XD. Things like repeat grids, how to use and manage your assets panel on the side here, overriding and components, how to even move your files from Sketch into XD, etc. So this is something even I go to quite often to brush up or make sure that I understand these things correctly. If I'm doing something and I think I'm a little off in the procedures of it, Howard's the guy that I go to either through his videos or I just hit him up in Discord and say, hey, I'm struggling with this thing. Can you help me out? And he is a fantastic resource. So make sure you guys check that one out as well. A couple other things that we'll be using along the way. Nucleo app, and this will be linked in the daily files, is a fantastic app that allows you to quickly speed up your workflow, looking for icons, being able to search for things based on keywords and tags. I think most of us here on the stream use this, and that's why we include it in those recommended resources and links. So definitely check that out. Another one, actually, let me go over here first, is the Noun Project. My favorite aspect of the Noun Project is when I'm looking for icons that I don't totally know what visual icon needs to identify that type of thing. So if I know I'm trying to convey an icon for X, I'll come in here, I'll search for that, and I'll kind of see the variety of icons that are generally associated with that thing or action. And it's really helpful for me to then be able to have a little bit more of a selection and kind of expand my mind to the possibilities of what could properly reference those things. So really great to check out. And then lastly, Unsplash. I actually don't pull up Unsplash anymore just because there's a plugin for it within Adobe XD, and I'll show you guys that on the day that we get to plugins. But Unsplash is my favorite spot. It's my go-to for high quality photography to use within your projects. I mean, even stuff like this is really simple, but I love the contrast, that yellow, the green, and pink. It's just really pretty and interesting. And so you can find some fantastic photos here to use in your designs. And again, we'll speed up your workflow with this with the Adobe XD plugin, but fantastic to utilize. And then also another thing you can check out, make sure to check out and go to see what's new in Adobe XD. There's a lot of cool things that just got added, such as the blend effects. So you guys will be really familiar with this stuff if you've used Photoshop or Illustrator before, but it's great to see this now introduced to Adobe XD. Some more stuff around nudges and nudge resizing. I still really want to request that we can change the increments from 10 pixel to 8 pixel, because 8 pixel grid is far superior. But that's something I know we can do through some plugins, and I've got a custom plugin I built for that. And then we can also select through overlapping and I believe locked layers. So this is something new. I haven't gotten yet to play around with this, but really cool features. So make sure you guys check this stuff out along the way, and it'll always just keep you up to date as to what is new in your favorite program. So with that, we've got a few more minutes, and let us know if you guys have any questions, and we can answer some of those in chat along the way. But I want to show you guys kind of how to go about checking things out here and how you're going to submit your projects, and how we find them and review this stuff. And also, Sarah Stewart, great to see you. Sarah's also built some fantastic plugins in the XD plugin marketplace. So I know she did the Google Sheets one with the Impeccable team, so go check it out. It's fantastic. But what we're going to do here, make sure that when you submit your projects to Behance, that you tag them with XD Daily Challenge. That's what's going to help us as well as others identify these projects, and we can come in here then and get a glimpse of what you've been working on, and other people will be able to find this and find a lot of inspiration from the stuff that you're doing. And then what you'll do is you'll post your Behance project, or you'll post your shared Adobe XD link, which you can come up here, and I'm not going to zoom in so you guys can't cheat and see tomorrow, but I'll show you what this looks like in a second. But you'll come up to share, share for review, and then from here you can create a link. You can allow comments or show hotspot hints, etc. And I can create a link for this, and this will then allow me to share that in Discord or whatnot and share with the community. And I can just copy this link and put it in chat, and then from there we can jump in and see all the artboards and screens. And what's cool is you can update this as you go, so if you make changes to your designs, that'll all get carried over and we can follow along. And Cornelian is asking, is there a resource for font, button, or trigger size best practices? I would really reference the, if you type in web accessibility guidelines, you want to follow along with those things. So you can use 14-point bold, 16 pixel regular, or larger type sizes. I generally like my buttons to be between like 40 to 56 pixels in height. And then I do about 16 to 24, maybe 32 pixels padding on the sides. It's kind of personal preference, but you know, you need things to be easily readable and seen, and those accessibility standards really help with the best practices of stuff. And what we can also do as well, each day you guys are going to get to download this file. It'll show you what day's challenge this is. We'll go through the prompt and the principle that you're going to be learning from it. If you want to keep score, we kind of throw in some fun stuff each day, and you can just use this as a little bit of a boost of a challenge. I've got one in here like, don't use lorem ipsum, use real words and copy and write for your designs. It makes everything feel so much more realistic along the way. And then we can get in like animating designs and sharing it out and whatnot. And then I put together my own personal inspiration board or kind of mood board for that day's challenge, things that I really like and want to maybe carry over into some of my designs. And I'll go over each day kind of what I like about these images, so that way you can kind of get a little bit of a process into my mind, into, you know, what it is I'm looking for and what it is I then want to implement in my own unique way, so that I'm not copying or ripping anybody off along the way, but I'm pulling little nuggets of awesomeness from maybe some of these and carrying that into some of my work. And then down here at the bottom, I'll zoom into this, but we've got, again, those resources. So I'd encourage you guys to use Adobe fonts. There's an awesome library of typography there. Google Fonts is another fantastic resource. We've got icons, some top plugins, and then you can go here to review all of this stuff. So we've got about 5 or 6 more minutes. Let's spend a minute or two here and jump into some projects. And again, I want to review some of these so you guys get to see how your projects will be reviewed. You understand that process and you know some of the stuff that we'll be looking for. So this was one from the last challenge from Ryan Chase. Before I was a designer, I was actually looking to be a professional golfer. So I love this project and thought this was really cool. And so what we kind of look at when we look at things like this, I love the photography, I love the type treatment here. as it kind of cuts into the white content area for the images. But I would love to see a little bit more type differentiation. It's a little tough to read some of this because it's all kind of blending together. So either more variation in type size, maybe some additional weights to expand this out a little bit more, or using a lighter gray, like 767676 is the lowest level of gray or black that you can use and still pass accessibility. So it'll give you a little bit of differentiation. Never use straight black, always use like 333 or something slightly off in charcoal, so it looks a little bit easier on the eyes. And then we're going to start looking at things and go, okay, how do I really move through this app? So one thing that I was looking at, this before I was playing this video, and it doesn't feel like there's, like I can't see a way to search for a golfer. I also, I don't want to swipe through potentially hundreds of people. I'd like to see, maybe a popularity list or an easier way to kind of grid out and go through these folks. I don't want to just have to swipe a full screen thing each time. But there's a lot of great content here, and it's something to build off of. So, we try to offer that kind of feedback to help you take it an additional, 5, 10, or 20% to really nail down these design challenges. So hopefully that feedback helps. And let's move on to the next one. Let's check chat. Okay, I think we're good there. So this was a great one by Jack. And Jack, when I was looking for some great designs, I found multiples of yours. So whatever you're doing, keep it up. Really, really nice work here. So I love this one. Customize your bubble tea order. There's some cool interactions and whatnot here. And this was really fun. So you can come in here. I can immediately understand this to where I can pick my size. Although I would love this to be like small, medium, large. It just feels a little bit more progressive. The base, I get to go through the different teas, and then I can pick extra stuff like grass jelly. Sounds delicious. But the one thing that I would question here, and I'm not saying that this is the right thing to do, but what I notice is that these interactions are very fun and delightful, and I think that's why they work really well. However, the one con of this, just to think through, is that it's harder and takes longer to make some of the decisions or to get to the thing that they want. Because I don't know if there's other items that are perhaps behind here that I can't see, I can't cycle through. So if I could just see small, medium, large, and the 10 options that might be, for here and here, it would be a lot quicker and easier to interact with. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right decision to make and way to go about this. Because again, this is really fun and enjoyable to use, but it's something to think about there. So I won't go through the prototype because I want to get through one or two more, but you guys are kind of getting the sense of what we're doing here. So let's jump into the next one from Naman. I really love this. This is clearly some kind of, I think, like AR or prototyping of the shoes. And here, I love the way that this is working, and I'll get to that in a sec. I would just say from like a design aesthetic standpoint, I might like soften some of these shadows. I think, that trend has been fading out a little bit, but I do still love the shadows personally. I just like them when they're really, really subtle. I think you've got a lot of really interesting things happening when we get into like the photography here. And I feel like the shadows become a distracting element, and we want the user to focus more on the shoe itself. And same thing, like the colors. There's already a lot of contrast between the color and the background. That shadow is often really well used when like having a white box that just needs a little bit of a shadow to pop off of the page. So it's really, really subtle. I think you could remove it from kind of everything and it'll help. Like you don't need it on these icons and stuff, but this is a great project. I love how you're able to prototype this out. It's super cool. And I know Adidas actually showed a lot of stuff like this at Adobe Max last year, which was super cool with AR stuff. And also I will be at Adobe Max. So if anyone's going, definitely make sure to say hi. The whole Adobe team will obviously be there too, and streaming. So it's a ton of fun. Stefan, this was a great challenge. This was to book a travel experience and, really great colors here. Nice and fun. Definitely just make sure that, like, contrast wise, again, for accessibility, that things work. I didn't test this, but I'm always cautious when I see colors that have like a lower contrast. But this is really great. I come in here, notice little things like this looks like it dropped a pixel or two, this button. And I always mention stuff like that. I think it's really important because if you're having your work reviewed for, say, like a new job or something, once somebody finds a little mistake, they start looking for more. So make sure that you dial your stuff in. That way they don't start looking for those and they're just focused on how great the work is. But overall, really awesome. Bump this type up so it's a little bit bigger and more readable. But that kind of gives you guys a sense of how this all works. So that's what we're going to be doing each day. And, again, love to see the challenges that you guys are going to be working on. Let us know what you need help with. We're here to answer any questions in chat. Really excited to see what you guys are going to be building and excited to jump in the challenges with you tomorrow. And make sure to stick around. There's another stream after this where they're going to be doing some portfolio reviews. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys again at 11:30, and that'll wrap us up for today. Thanks so much.